Welcome, welcome, welcome to the first episode of my financial journey. As for those that know me, I'm Alejandro Garcia, and I'm from El Paso, Texas. Well, let's get on with it. Today's title will be Building My Own Race. This is my financial journey. I don't have a high earning job per se. I'm just a warehouse worker, and a lot of things has happened since the new policies from the president have come in. So I'm about to show my solution. As you guys all know, my coworkers, um, they stopped giving us raises around 3 years, 3 or 2 years ago. So to show everybody else that even as a warehouse worker, we can still building wealth. We don't have to follow the rules. We can still do this, and even at 25K a year, I think it's still doable. And I feel like I'm the person to show the world that it can be done. So I have decided to build assets and start documenting the journey. I already said the problem is that I work in a warehouse. That's not a problem at all. A lot of us have low paying jobs, janitors, warehousemen, I think construction workers earn more than we do. So in the industry that I work at, we depend heavily on the international trade. Now since the tariffs have started, we already know that to come out, but it will take a while for it to recover. It has affected us all. It has affected so much that they haven't give us any raises. There's no overtime, and that's fine. That's fine with that. We still have a job. The only problem is that living costs continue to raise. Uh, our bills will continue to increase. So I realized that I couldn't depend on my paycheck alone. You know, it's tough. A lot of people complain that they are living paycheck to paycheck, and they earn more than I do. And that's fine. Everybody has his own situation. So I needed something else. I put my brain to work. And for all that know me, I already started this journey since November. And I told them all, if my income wasn't growing, I gotta start figuring something else. Because ever since this regime came in, it has gotten worse, to be honest. So I made a decision to give myself a raise. And like I said before, those that know me or that work with me know about this. I got tired of waiting for management. We all know how that goes. The economy, even though everybody's saying, or the news are saying that the stock market, oh my god, the stock market is doing great. The only problem is that it doesn't reflect the economy. I mean, sure, the stock market will go up, but everything else is going up as well. Especially if we're not getting raises, we're getting cooked. I'm also not waiting for the annual reviews. You all know how that goes. Management remembers that 1 year after the annual review, only for us to get like what, 20 cents raise, 25 cents the most. I think that's the most I have gotten on a raise. So on November of 2005, I made a decision. I chose to focus on savings, investing, asset accumulation, and financial education. You guys know how that goes. So basically, I decided to make my own system, my own plan, my own way for it to make my money grow. I cannot control the economy, but I can control what I do with my money, not your money, or my paycheck. I can decide what to do with that. I am in control of that. So this is my current position as of now, as of what's today? June 21st, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, Sunday, June 21st. So I do have a brokerage account that has 6K in it. I have accumulated since November 75 ounces of silver. I know I shouldn't include 401k since we cannot touch it until after retirement, but for anybody else out there that's interested, I have 35K in there. And I decided to put half of my paycheck to work. I earn around 400 bucks, 400 to 450, give or take, an hour. I mean, my bad, a week. So I decided to put a flat line to our savings. I decided to live my uh, what you want to call it, below my means, very below my means. And I can safely say that I can't I can't survive with $200 a week. Out of the 400, I am able to survive with 200. Of course, I had to make a lot of modifications, but it is well worth it. So I'm using 200 for my daily needs, groceries, bills, a luxury that I want here and there, and the other 200 are going for investing, emergency funds, and other stuff. So, like I said before, I built a system. I have decided that I'm gonna be tracking every dollar that I earn, and essentially be its boss. Every single dollar, every single cent, I decided to give it a job. Hence why it's called a system. Most other people will call it financial planning, budgeting, but I decided to give it a job. Every single dollar that I earn. So I'm gonna put like a little table here so you guys can see which bucket that I decided to put each dollar and its purpose. My 401k, they're taking 4% out of my paycheck each week and getting match. My job does give me a match on my 401k. And we all know that's for retirement since we cannot touch it until we're 65. Hey, I guess that's not a problem. So here's my tax fund for the house. I'm living with my sister, and this year I have decided to pay her taxes for the house. And here's how I did it. In my brokerage account, I decided to put $50 a week in a fund called BUSD. It doesn't have price fluctuations. It doesn't move at all. Its price range goes between 49 and 50. That's the most, and then goes down, goes up. And I'm getting around 6 to 7% annually in interest. So while I'm saving, the money that I put in there is working for me, and it's getting me 7% interest, 6 or 7% interest, which is a lot. It's more than the savings rate the bank gives me, and I don't have to worry about taxes either. Since I earn so low, I'm just basically gonna pay 5% of taxes on the interest that I earn on there. So that's the house taxes. My silver stack, like it says on the presentation, is for well preservation, especially since now inflation is about 4%. Yeah, and even before then, when inflation was down, I decided to save my money. I decided that every dollar that I earn is not gonna lose value like it usually does. So I'm putting some of them in silver, which so it can serve as gold, hence why it's well preservation as well. But it's cheaper than gold. So a lot of people call it the poor man's gold because it can act as gold and it keeps up with inflation. The value doesn't go down. The value that goes down is the value of the dollar. Hence why I use the silver stack. My emergency fund. Yes. You all know that everybody should have from 3 to 6 months of emergency fund saved for unexpected expenses. Now, this may be a shocker, but I use a fund as well. I do keep some money in the bank, but that's not for my emergency fund. The emergency fund I use is Cashi, CSHI, and that fund gives me six between 5 and 6% interest rate each year, which is way higher than the what the bank offers me. Way higher, basically almost triple. 6%, I'll take it any day, especially now. And now that the rates that we're most likely gonna have a rate hike, most likely my interest will go up as well. And the brokerage account, I use Robinhood, like it says on right there on the presentation. It's long-term wealth. Now since November, I distribute the money between 6 funds. I have my money working in Mexico, here in the United States, and in Canada. And so far, my account has grown 20% because it's tilted towards growth, which is fine with me. I barely have 41 years old, and I do want my money to grow. 20% is a lot, to be honest. And I'm happy with it. I don't need income now, but I do need my money to work for me, to grow for me, so it doesn't lose value. As long as my money grows above the inflation rate, I'm fine. I'm not gonna lose any value on it. For example, today's inflation is 4.2% annually. My money is growing, well, since I started. It has grown ten between 10 to 20%, honestly. So it's way up inflation. It's not only keeping pace, but it's beating inflation, which should be everybody's objective. So my rules: this shouldn't be a quick wish scheme. Quick wish schemes. You know how that goes. You give money to somebody else, or you give money to a program, and you lose your money instantly. You won't start earning money like ever, to be honest. And most of them are pyramid schemes. If you earn interest, it will be very low. No gambling. You know how that goes as well. As soon as you can earn that money, the quick you can lose it. Really quick. And I use my own money, real money. I don't ask for loans. I don't ask for anybody else's money. I am disciplined enough to use my own money. I'm not saying you should do it because my situation is not the same as yours, but that's my honesty. And I ain't gonna document every gain and every loss. To be honest, my objective is to make like a monthly video to give an update on my journey so you guys can see how I'm doing and show you guys that you guys can do it as well. Now my weekly contributions is simple. 200 bucks. All divided between the buckets that I showed you like in the previous image. My goal is long-term thinking. I don't want the money tomorrow. I don't want the money now. That's obvious. That's hilarious. That's asking a lot. If you're gonna put your money to work, you should be thinking long-term thinking. Because to be honest, this is like opening your own business. And if you think of it on the long term, you're gonna be gaining money. You're gonna be earning money. If you're thinking it for the short term, you're gonna be losing money. Because as soon as you open your own business, you're not gonna be making money right away. Not until you have your client base built. This is the same. You have to go with the same mentality. Like I said before, I do have a short term goal, which is continue doing my weekly deposit at 200 bucks to my silver stack, my house tax funds, emergency funds, and my brokerage account. I don't remember if I'm missing something, but that's basically it. And I gotta stay consistent. That's the hardest part because if I use more money than I should, if I use more money than I should for my budget, uh, I'm close for the week. So I gotta stay really disciplined. The medium term, is obviously to grow the brokerage account. Because the more money that I have in there, the more it's gonna work for me, and I'm gonna earn more money from it. At the beginning, it might seem not a lot, but it will grow in due time, especially since the market is giving around 10 to 15% annually in returns. That means that your money is gonna grow from 10 to 15% a year. That's the average right now. And my goal is to build financial security. I do need income, hence that's why I'm doing this. Everybody wants financial security, but for that we need education, discipline, and sacrifice. To be honest, uh, a lot of people, especially in my job, are wasting money too much. Vacations that they don't need, new cars, new house, new everything. Hence, I don't need that stuff. My mentality right now is that every dollar that I spend, it's another year in my life that I have to work. And I don't want that. And obviously, the long term is to create income and assets that are independent from a job. And my 401k, since they are managed by me. My closing thoughts, and why I'm sharing this. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not trying to sell a course. I'm just a regular warehouse worker documenting my journey, where I started, where I'm at, how I'm doing this. So, and my channel's goal is to help you guys. Every low paying worker out there that's earning below 60, 50, 40, 30, even 10K a year, I, I'm pretty sure you'll find my videos helpful. I will be uploading videos once a month, but if you're like me, please join me. You'll help each other, and I'll teach you how to give yourself a raise. Well, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but if my videos can help you, then this channel's goal is done. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next month.